Netanyahu's Mideast ties face strain as Iran's retaliation reshapes regional alignments. Khan reports a regional state denied Israel access to its airspace during heightened tensions. A partner that once cooperated is now reportedly keeping its skies closed amid escalation risks. Israeli officials were caught off guard by the sudden shift in regional airspace access. The key question now emerging is which countries are still willing to stand firmly with Israel? Israel's regional partners are reportedly beginning to pull back as tensions with Iran escalate once again. Khan reports that a regional country blocked Israeli access to its airspace during the latest round of strikes on Iran. The move marks a sharp departure from earlier phases of the conflict, when similar access had been granted. Khan says Israeli officials were taken by surprise by the decision during the ongoing operation. The country in question was not identified in the original report by Israel's Khan broadcaster. The restriction reportedly complicated Israeli operational planning during strikes carried out on Iran. Khan says Israel believes the airspace closure was intended as a political signal rather than a purely military decision. The report suggests regional governments are increasingly cautious about being drawn directly into the conflict. Several Arab states are now trying to avoid any direct involvement in the escalating Israel-Iran confrontation. Khan adds that the decision has raised fresh concerns inside Israel about the reliability of regional support. President Trump says a breakthrough in US-Iran negotiations may be closer than ever, with a possible agreement expected within days. Speaking at the White House, Trump revealed that key documents are being finalized as negotiators work toward a formal deal. Trump insisted that both sides are eager to reach an understanding, describing the current momentum as highly encouraging.
Mr. President, on Iran, how confident are you that there will be a signing this weekend? Because you have come close to sealing a deal, but at the last minute it has fallen apart. And
it'll be soon, maybe this weekend.
And has the Supreme Leader approved this deal, sir?
I understand the answer is yes.
And when this deal is signed, is the United States going to immediately lift the blockade?
Yes, that's true. That's part of the deal.
And
you'll have oil prices dropping like a rock.
But has Iran committed to not pursuing a nuclear weapon, or will there be more negotiations on that down the line?
They will not have a nuclear weapon. They've agreed to that. There will be no, which is the whole reason, which is a big part of the reason.
Is that going to be in your agreement, sir?
They will not only not have, they will not purchase, develop in any way, any shape, in any way, shape, or form a nuclear weapon. They will not have a nuclear weapon.
But is this just the concept of that agreement when it comes to nuclear? You said this was just a concept of that agreement. So is this just essentially setting the stage for deeper talks on nuclear?
It's a very strong memorandum of understanding. That is a little conceptual, but it's something that's going to get done. And if it doesn't get done for any reason, which I can't imagine that not happening, they want to sign it as much as I do or more. I would say they want to sign it more, maybe a lot more. But it's a very detailed memorandum of understanding, also agreed to by many other countries that have great influence over them, and everybody wants it done. So it's going to get done.
Mr. President, is there a specific amount of time that has to pass between this memorandum of understanding and a final deal being done?
Well, we hope it's going to go relatively quickly, but it's...
Is there a 60 or 90
I mean, the straits are going to open immediately. It's upon signing. Maybe it'll be Saturday or Monday.
Or is there a deadline, though, to get from this to a final deal?
We think it's going to go pretty quickly. I don't want to say a deadline, because if I say a deadline, you'll say, oh, he didn't meet the deadline. You know, this is like, it's not going to matter much, because it's going to get signed.
Qatar's leadership has remained actively involved in mediation efforts, holding direct talks with Trump on the proposed agreement. According to Qatar, the framework emerging from negotiations has received broad backing from the key stakeholders involved. Doha praised ongoing diplomatic efforts, expressing hope that a deal could help bring stability back to the region. Diplomatic sources say negotiators made significant progress, narrowing several of the key gaps that had stalled talks for months. The latest negotiations reportedly centered on the release of frozen Iranian funds, maritime security in Hormuz, and the future of nuclear discussions. Officials familiar with the talks say Qatar's mediation helped produce an agreement in principle, raising hopes of a broader breakthrough. Qatar Emir's office statement read, and I quote, "During the call, the two leaders discussed the close strategic relations between the two countries and ways to support and enhance them in addition to the latest regional and international developments, particularly those related to diplomatic efforts for de-escalation in the region, unquote. Despite progress in negotiations, reports suggest the proposed agreement cannot move forward without final approval from Iran's highest leadership. Sources say Iran's leadership is carefully reviewing the terms of the understanding before deciding whether to formally endorse the deal.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.